you ever look back at your old photos and cringe? Well, I'm here to tell you that those old photos could actually help you grow and improve as a photographer. Keep watching to find out more. Hello and welcome to another midweek video. We're recording from inside tonight because it is just far too warm to be outside, and we're going to take a trip down memory lane today. I got into photography because whenever I went away, I always ensured I had a camera for my travels. It left me with some amazing memories, from city breaks to stunning landscapes all over the world, resulting in a lot of images. A lot of those I've never really reviewed in Lightroom. I've never seen the potential in an edit. Well, today that changes, because right here, right now, I'm going to prove why you should never delete old shots. Grab your passports, because today, from the comfort of wherever you're watching, we're jetting off to New Zealand. The worst part of picking New Zealand for this feature was having to limit the number of images that I could go through. Of the 188 or so that remain, I was able to shortlist these 43 images that you see before you. Of course, I can't cover that many images in a single episode, so now I've got the torturous job of whittling down these numbers to just 3 or 4 for this video. It's possible I might even need to produce a part 2 at some point in the future. Yet without further ado, here are the selections that I'll be editing today. And first up is this train sitting at a red signal to provide a little bit of a backstory. My first visit to the country resulted in me using public transportation to navigate most of the 2 islands. So I think I ended up using something like an aeroplane, a boat, a couple of trains, a coach, just to get around the place. This was the last of those trains that I used. It was a 4-hour journey between Christchurch and Greymouth over on the west coast. I straight away love how you've got these mountains and the cloud in the distance. It almost signifies what is to come from this particular journey. Almost a sense of foreboding from this kind of angry sky in the distance. Having decided upon a preset, it is straight down to the edit. However, I should first of all warn you that these images are all JPEGs. Each shot was taken with the Samsung MV800, a point and shoot camera. Nothing was shot in RAW, meaning our editing options are limited. Some photographers, of course, prefer shooting in JPEG instead of RAW. It all just comes down really to personal preference. But like I say, we've got the preset set, we've got the crop already in place. I love kind of these little washed out colours. If you watch kind of my edits in the past, you know it's kind of the style, the theme that I go for. I had to cut out a few pylons, so if I show you the original image, you can see how much I've already actually cut out of the shot. I don't like this pylon that's just appearing in the scene, so straight away that's had to go. Contrast, let's bring out some nice richness in the colour and darken the shot up. I love the grittiness with this old camera, because I think that camera would probably be about 10-11 years old now. Get rid of some of the shadows. Does that darken? Is this darkening the image a little bit too much? Not too sure, because we want to. I think lightening up the image like this, it doesn't really suit it. So we'll go for a nice darker. Like I say all the time, it's about playing with these sliders, finding what works in your images. And then we've got the texture. Let's bring out some texture. Let's really sharpen the image a little bit. Do we want to soften it? Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. It's just softening. Like if we go back and pull the clarity, of course, anger in these clouds, but of course we just soften up that a little bit. Just almost adds a little bit of light to it almost as well. And of course, let's just come down. Do we want to bring out the saturation? I don't think we want to bring out the colours. I don't really want to enrich the colours anymore. If we go the other way, maybe something a little bit like that. A nice simple edit to start the video. Not all my adventures in New Zealand have been spent using public transport. If ever you're in that part of the world, I highly recommend you hire a car, especially if you're around the West Coast and Highway 6, because it really is a beautiful stretch of road to explore. The roads, they wind their way through the mountains and rainforests, making it difficult not just to keep your eyes on the road, but also not to stop every couple of yards to take one shot after another, because it really is easy just to get lost and not find yourself moving anywhere down the road that day. I often joke that if I went back to New Zealand as a photographer, I'd need an unlimited supply of SD cards and batteries, even if it was just a short trip. These old shots that I'm editing, they have a real historic grit to them. They really do. And I don't think for once, we really don't want to end up softening this shot too much. Lowering either the texture or the clarity just gives it a feel that doesn't feel too right. Same with the temperature. Amazing, kind of making it colder, making it warmer. It doesn't feel too right. But I love how you've kind of got all these rocks that almost just lead your way up to this one misty hill. I've not actually attached my usual crop as yet, so we need to make sure we do that. I want this rocky hillside to be nice, dead center. Just something a bit like that. And of course, we've got low cloud over the distant hills, which is a reminder that the West Coast has a huge amount of rainfall each year. At the end of the day, of course, the edit, it just comes down to simply what you prefer, how much you edit, how much you leave alone. It's completely down to preference. You'll notice that the first two images that I've shared with you could be in fact anywhere in the world. I've had the option of sharing some stunning tourist destinations in New Zealand, the likes of Milford Sound, Fox Glacier, but I thought that would actually be the lazy option. They're famous scenes. They don't require yet another photographer going over old ground. As it is though, this shot has strong emphasis on the South Island and the beauty of the Fiordland National Park. I was in fact on my way to Milford Sound when I took this shot from a light aircraft that I was travelling in. And these mountains that you see towering above the clouds throws in the element that there are parts of the planet that no human has potentially walked on. It just shows the emphasis of the planet that we live on to this day. Of course, I also took images of the mountains by themselves without this wing in the scene, but I just find it adds a little bit of a story, a little bit more background. I feel it adds to the image as a whole. The blueness of the shot in general, I could of course warm it up, but it's not a warm landscape. It just captures the coldness of the scene. You've got of course these lovely tips of light. Of course, let's again bring back the shadows. Let's just really bring back the shadows, bring back the light on real certain parts of the scene. Again, you don't really need to be making too many adjustments. I think I'll have to, of course, use Lightroom just to get rid of those two spots. But again, nothing drastically needs to be changed about it. The scene just kind of helps speak for itself. I could even do a bit of a black and white shot, but then, of course, again, I think we've got a bit of sun glare here, which I might have to remove. And if I add a bit of colour, it doesn't show up as badly. Okay, a little bit of irony here, because in just the last image I spoke about wanting to steer clear of tourist destinations when going through this feature, yet here I am doing exactly the opposite. However, I cannot leave Queenstown out of this video. It is truly one of my favourite spots outside of England. Of course, it's known for its high adrenaline sports, bungee jumping, etc. As a photographer though, I don't really care about activities such as that. Not when you can catch a cable car to the top of Queenstown and enjoy views such as this in the distance. You've got the mountain range, suitably named the Remarkables, because this is one remarkable landscape. It truly is. It's a great destination for exploring the Fiordland National Park. The lake though as well, which I won't try and pronounce because I'll only go and embarrass myself, is just stunning. It's a lovely shade of blue in this particular image, especially how it curves around this patch of land and just sticks out into the lake. Look, it's a spot, it's a location that speaks for itself, and it makes it sound like I'm repping the New Zealand Tourist Board. Honestly, I'm not. It's just a location that I have great affection for. I really do. And it's an image that makes me question, like I said at the start, like there's some that make, these are images that should make you cringe, but I'm sitting here now playing with the edit, just playing with the contrast, getting rid of some shadows. It just darkens, makes the foreground a little bit more dramatic. Let's bring out the texture. What does the, no, don't want to really soften the clarity. That ruins the top of the remarkable mountain range. Darken. I might have to just get rid of a bit of saturation, get rid of that blue in the sky. But like I say, these are images that I've never wanted to look at in the past, and it just now really makes me wonder why I've ever wanted to do that. I don't understand it, I don't get it, and I'm really glad to be sharing these images with you now. That final image will appear on screen in just a second. For now though, this is the end of my latest midweek video. I'll see you back out and about on Sunday. Bye for now.